Well. Jenna Marbles has decided to cancel herself from YouTube or from social media. She is one of the first legit YouTube stars. I think 20 plus million, 20 million plus subscribers, and very successful and probably very rich as well. So she has canceled herself. We're gonna talk about culture war, man. Okay, so this is gonna be heavy, and but more importantly, I don't really care that much about Jenna Marbles. What I care really about is the culture war, this cancel culture thing, and how there are people I can see, especially on Twitter, that people are trying really hard to bring this here in the Philippines. And yeah, let's see. All right, so but first, before we begin, please help me grow this channel. Like the page, like this video, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you get notified. If you can share the video, please help me do it para mas madaming makapanood, and that YouTube algorithm would be nicer to me, because yung mga ganitong klaseng commentaries, YouTube do not really like these kinds of content, kasi basta, especially cancel culture. Okay, so maybe one day we're gonna talk about that. Um, let's see, because that is a very, very deep rabbit hole. But I follow it a lot. Yun ang pinakang ano ko, yun ang pinakang Korea novela ko, K-drama, mga ganyan. I hardly watch TV shows anymore, but I follow these things. So it's very entertaining to me. Okay, but enough of that. Let's talk about Jenna Marbles. Okay, so admittedly, ang tagal ko nang hindi nakakanood ng mga content ni Jenna Marbles. Okay, so I barely remember her nga sa totoo lang. Hindi ko siya, it's just not my kind of content na babalik-balikan ko. I'm more into podcasts. I'm more into basta yung mga commentaries, doon ako mas nag-enjoy. Okay, so yung mga ganyan, hindi ko, I enjoy them of course kasi nakakatawa din naman talaga yung iba. But for the most part, I find something else to watch, or iba na lang papanoorin ko if I'm not listening to podcasts. Okay, so Jenna is I don't know exactly kung ano yung backstory kung bakit niya ginawa to. But apparently, ito nakalagay, let's just read from Forbes.com. On the evening of June 25, YouTuber Jenna Marbles uploaded her last video to her channel, telling her 20 million subscribers she was leaving the platform. Okay, so let's see. Pinanood ko yung video, and parang ang nakalagay doon, uh, parang may mga she said that people had been telling her for years, because there's this is a very, very uh challenging to explain in a short amount of time. Okay, parang kasi the culture war, let's call it the culture war that's happening in the US. That is an ideological civil war, actually, from, and it is very deeply rooted into okay, ang mga senyales niya, yung mga cancel culture, yung mga politically correct, ay mga PC culture, ganyan. It started as PC culture, eh. Back in 2010s, PC, political correctness pa lang. And then naging social justice, which yung isa pang term, mga SJW, social justice warriors naman. And I think ang pinakabago is yung cancel culture nga, which is what typically would happen to a celebrity or somebody famous. Let's say whether an actor or a public, even politicians, especially in the U.S. Actors, anybody famous, radio personality, mga director, basta anybody with a significant amount of fame and tawag doon, influence, pwede kang ma-cancel. You can be a victim of this. And that includes big YouTubers like Jenna Marbles. May mga tao, even PewDiePie had his several run-ins with the pitchfork mob, 'di ba? Kasi ang cancel culture is basically ang ginagawa nila is they can dig up hindi lang yung kung anong sinabi mo eh. Dati kasi kung may sinabi kang what they deemed is inappropriate, whether they are racist, whether they are I don't know, sexist, misogynist, means dati kasi used to be kung ano yung sinabi mo ngayon, doon ka lang maka-cancel. Pero ngayon, ang ginagawa na nila is they dig up things that you've done from the past, as in 10 years ago, 20 years ago, even 30 years ago, decades ago. Pwede, that's still fair game, and you'll still need to address it and apologize and beg for their forgiveness. Basically beg for, and or else they're gonna call for your head, basically. And that has happened to many celebrities. Well, ang dami naman, a lot of them are, mm, I'm not saying not hindi walang magandang kinabungan nito, like let's say Harvey Weinstein. So serial they say rapist, and were at the very least ano siya, abuser of power towards women. But there are also instances that people get canceled without kumbaga, just because of the assumption, and just because parang there are people who abuse this new kind of culture, like let's say what happened to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Parang they used this this is very hard to explain kasi if I mention Me Too, or if I mention Believe All Women, these hashtags, that that will create a new branch of a totally different direction, and new kind of explanations. Pero one day we're gonna cover all of this on this channel. Okay, so kumbaga, yung but make the story short about Johnny Depp, parang people canceled him because he was accused by his former wife, which turned out na hindi naman pala totoo, and baliktad pa ang nangyari. And apparently siya pa pala yung sinasaktan nitong si Amber Heard. I made a video of that, check it out, from I think February this year. But so that is fucked up, 'di ba? That is cancel culture gone wrong. And being canceled, that takes a lot of toll, not just to you financially, not just for you, but most of all, ano siya, yung you're gonna get ostracized. Okay? So people will think of you kumbaga hindi ka na mawalan ka ng kaibigan. People are not gonna like you, and the amount of hate that you will receive, especially in social media will be tremendous. Kumbaga, biblical proportions. Because people love hating. Walang ibang you can observe that even here on YouTube. Kumbaga, pag hate piece, if it's dissing, if it's kumbaga parang maninita ka ng ibang tao or gagawa ka ng drama, mabenta yung mga ganong content. And that also applies even in Twitter, especially Twitter, because for me, I think dun talaga pinakamadaming mga wala namang na-cancel sa Facebook. Kumbaga, yung mga na-cancel sa Facebook dahil na-cancel sila sa Twitter. So, kumbaga, I don't think anyone has very few had been canceled in from Instagram or other platforms. A lot of these things happen on Twitter. But I think what happened to Jenna is and this is also what they're saying, hindi ginawa niya na lang yan, inunahan na lang niya yung mga magka-cancel sa kanya. That's why she canceled herself before the mob comes for her. Kasi this is what happened to, let's say, recently Jimmy Kimmel was also canceled. Okay, so Jimmy Kimmel, ang tagal na meron siyang, ang tagal nang pabalik-balik nung video niya, parang impostering Karl Malone. So nag-blackface si Jimmy Kimmel. And if you've been watching Jimmy Kimmel, kumbaga he's basically the Pope of SJWs. 'Di ba? Yeah, ang dami niyang ginagawa, ang dami niya, he panders a lot to these woke crowd. And that's the funny thing about this cancel culture, because it knows no friends. Kumbaga parang kahit gaano ka kalakas mag-pander para dito sa movement na to, you are still, kumbaga, if they find a little hole to get you and eat you, kumbaga, they will not spare you. Okay, so nobody is safe from the cancel, from the pitchfork mob. And Jenna, parang there are people who says na kumbaga inunahan na nila. Kasi yung kay Jimmy Kimmel nga, matagal nang alam na ng mga tao na he had this racist bit before early 2000 from The Man Show. Tapos meron pa siyang basta a lot of that show, parang may mga comedy show yun eh. And that was before the political correctness era. So there had been jokes that would be parang considered highly misogynistic during this time, but back then it was more acceptable. Okay? So walang backlash dati. Pero ngayon meron na. And dati parang they had been basta parang binabanggit-banggit lang yun eh. And then finally a few weeks ago, parang okay, now is the time. Let's get Jimmy Kimmel. Okay, kasi matunog yung Black Lives Matter ngayon sa US, especially after the George Floyd murder. Let's call it a murder because it was. Okay, so after that, parang nobody's safe anymore. So they called for Jimmy Kimmel's head, even though he had been pandering like crazy to the leftist mob. And Jenna Marbles, she's aware that she had done something similar. Although parang people are saying na hindi naman total blackface yun. Parang she tanned her skin to para mag-dark kasi she was impersonating Nicki Minaj back then. And kumbaga parang okay, so instead na before, kasi if kumbaga parang strategy daw yun eh. Kasi instead na mauna yung pitchfork mob to get her, parang uunahan na niya so that when the pitchfork mob arrives, parang, oh, okay, wait. This is Jenna. She has repented. Kakampiyan. Let us spare her. Okay? So, parang ganun yung mentality na sinasabi nila. And, I don't know. And maybe she's just, I don't know. I don't follow her channel, so I do not have a gauge of her character. From what I've seen, she's her bits, her videos were actually funny. But ang sinasabi ng iba, maybe she's she's taking a vacation of some sort anyway. So, but since kung aalis din siya, might as well make as much news as possible and para do something like this. And if that was if that was the strategy, then it is very effective because it's been covered by a lot of media. Or also, maybe she also really believes that she has done wrong. Okay, that she's convinced by these people, by these social justice, by the movement, that she's a bad person for doing the skits that she did before. And well, I don't know what to say about that. If, kung ganang tingin niya sa sarili niya, eh, then sige, 'di ba? Kasi that's I don't want to tell anyone how to think. But for me, it's I think if you pander to these people, parang you're not helping. Yeah, you think you are doing the world good, but for me, parang you're just I don't know. I don't think these self flagellation parang helps anything. Kasi I don't know what intent she has. Maybe she's really guilty, or she really feels the guilt. But well, maybe because I don't know. She's well, she's very rich. Okay, she's probably very rich by now. Just like PewDiePie and those pioneers who were first to succeed on YouTube. And I don't know if I suppose she's the only one who could answer what her real purpose for this. But let's just take it on her word na she feels guilty and that she couldn't believe that she did all of those jokes before. And but that is what's amazing, eh. Parang if you're gonna look at this this video, it has 8 million 8.2 million views. It's been thumbs up niya is 857,000. Thumbs down 25,000. Okay, so what does that mean? That means 857,000 people like her. And kumbaga madaming nagmamahal sa kanya. And when I rewatch her videos, I find that she's very likable. She's a very good-looking girl. Although I don't know if she intentionally parang hindi siya nag-ayos on this video. But kasi tingnan mo yung itsura niya dito, nakaayos siya. Looks like a different person. But she's she's convinced na, because you know what, parang this Twitter mob, they're just very few. Kala mo lang madami sila. Sobrang unti lang nitong mga to. In the US na lang ha. I think some 300 million sila doon. Basta hundreds of millions na. I don't think wala pa silang half a billion. Pero kung ano man yung population nila, just 3% of that are using Twitter. Okay, think about that. 3% lang ang gumagamit ng Twitter. Okay? And within that 3%, hindi pa ano, ang unti pa lalo, no, kasi hindi naman lahat mga SJW sa Twitter na Amerikano eh, 'di ba? So, fraction, let's say half, let's bigyan na natin half na lang. Half of them, or probably just kumbaga 1/3 lang nun. So 1% lang ng US population ang who would hold these ideas, this ideology that upholds cancel culture. And I don't know, 8.2 million, 'di ba? That's more than the I don't know. Maybe that's 1% or a little more than 1%, but since hindi lang naman lahat 'yan eh. Merong mga may mga nagko-comment dito. May mga nagko-comment dito, "You are not racist, you are funny, Jenna." So they just they don't think she's been racist at all. And I don't know why Jenna Marbles had to do this to please that very small fraction of people, when in reality a lot more loves her than than what it seems, because these few people are very vocal, they're very loud, and they have strong words to say, and they pierce, they want to inflict as much damage, and very proactive in doing it. And yeah, unfortunately, people like Jenna and advertisers, 'di ba? Yung mga YouTube advertiser, kaya nga tayo nagkaroon ng adpocalypse sa YouTube, which is still happening now, and because of that. And it's just amazing how these people could just get away with I would say craziness. And you know what? I think those who are just most at the most part, ang kailangan mo sisihin yung mga hindi those who don't say anything about it. Parang if they see somebody gets canceled, parang they don't say a word. They just accept it. And then because it's not happening to them. But then again, parang this is included in the rabbit hole that I'm talking about. The US media is very left-leaning. Okay, so that's why you hardly, especially here na mga nakakaabot sa Pilipinas, that's why you hardly hear any good news about Trump here in the Philippines. And also, unless you go to other channels that are not available in the Philippines, kasi may CNN Philippines, 'di ba? Ang Fox News, where yung conservative news, yung mga pro-Trump na news, doon mo mahahanap eh. Wala namang Fox News Philippines, di ba? So, if you want, I'm not saying mabuting tao si Trump, ha? Sabi ko lang, merong second side, may other side ng mga balita. And this is not about Trump anyway. Or yung other side about the culture war, those the side of the people who get villainized by the culture war, those are hardly heard, if not at all heard here in the country. So I think you should, in order to give a proper assessment on these issues, you need to seek out and be proactive about it, other news sources. Kasi if you are told the first indication na niloloko ka ng isang tao is that if they tell you na sila lang dapat ang pakinggan mo, huwag kang makikinig sa iba. Kumbaga, the truth, I have the monopoly of truth. If somebody's saying that to you, then that person, that organization is manipulating you. That is the time where you go out and seek other opinions. Okay, so that is, kumbaga okay, sinabi mo, ikaw lang pala, then that means you are hiding something from me. And I encourage everyone who has very few information about the culture war, kasi this
taken down.
Whoa, what the hell? Okay, so kasi this culture war is slowly creeping in the Philippines. Okay, so just a couple of days ago, oh shit, 27 minutes na. Part 2. Okay, we're gonna have a part 2 of this of this video. Like, subscribe to Komiksman, and comment what you think. Okay, we're gonna do a part 2. Bye.